Okay, the time has come for us to discuss this book. This book is Say My Name, Say My Name, book number 4 in Goosebumps House of Shivers by R.L. Stine. And we got to talk about it. So I will say right here, right now, this will be a spoiler-filled discussion. I'm going to talk all spoilers. I'm not going to try and say anything in a vague way so you can't quite get what I'm talking about. I will be talking specific spoilers. So if you have not read this book and you want to read it, go ahead, go check out my no spoiler review of this book, which I worked very carefully to make sure it has no spoilers at all in it. Go watch that review if you want to know more about the book before you pick it up or before you read it. Or if you just want to go read it, go get it from the library, go buy it, etc. This is a spoiler-filled discussion. You have been warned. If you didn't notice in the title and on the thumbnail, and there's all the little spoiler tag here too. This is a spoiler-filled discussion. You have been warned, so don't come at me in the comments that I spoiled something because you have been warned, okay? All right, let's get into the spoilers. So, yes, this book, Say My Name, Say My Name, is about two kids who are in an AI-generated video game. Now, I have been sitting with this book for a minute because I was going to do a Let's Discuss video pretty much right after my non-spoiler video of this, but I decided to wait because I kind of wanted to see what did other people in the community say about this book. And I wanted to think about it some more because even though I did not like this book, I gave it 2 stars out of 5. This book has not left my mind. I've been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about, okay, what was R.L. Stine trying to do? Remember, the basic plot of this book is you have these two kids, Cody and Sam. Sam is a computer programming genius, and with the help of AI, he's created this AI video game, and now Cody and Sam are in the video game themselves and are going through this whole game and trying to win it and solve it and get to the end of it. However, the game seems to not have an end, and Cody and Sam do not seem to even be their actual selves because they seem to be avatars who are playing in the game of Say My Name, which is the name of the game and the name of the book. So let's talk for a minute. In my non-spoiler review, I said that this reminded me of an episode of a show. And this reminded me very specifically of a Black Mirror episode, the USS McAllister episode with Jesse Plemons, where there is this like Star Trek kind of thing going on. And all of these people have been downloaded into this game. Their avatars, it's not their actual selves, but they think that they are their actual selves in that show. So they're going through the motions of this game and this is very, very similar in idea to that episode. And I have to wonder, did R.L. Stine see that and did that spur the idea for this book? Or did R.L. Stine just kind of be like, all right, there's all this AI stuff going on. Let's jump on that and let's do a Goosebumps book about that, which I think is a genius idea. To do something with AI in the Goosebumps world is a great idea. I just think this book was not the execution of that idea that it should have been. In the very end, we find out that the two characters realize that they are avatars in the game Say My Name, Say My Name. And they realize that all these different animals and characters in the game have been saying Say My Name over and over again because they're trying to get the two characters to say their own names to end the game. Now, I actually have found a plot hole with this. If the characters were just supposed to say their own names out loud in order to end the game, then Sam would be out of the game already. Because in the second to last chapter, Sam actually says his own name in a sentence when he says the real world Sam, and then he talks about his real world self. And I thought, well, you just said your name. So if you said your name, shouldn't you be out of this game? But they're not out of the game. And I was thinking, okay, well, do they both have to say it? Well, that doesn't make sense, because why would they both have to say it? It says, say my name, not your names. So, or my names, etc., etc. In the end, they reboot the game and start over. Now, I will say, these are the couple of things I thought were clever. I thought the premise was clever, but I also thought that the couple of little things that R.L. Stine did, like having the very last chapter be chapter 1 because we rebooted, was clever. I also thought it was clever to do the 2 Error 404 chapters, because I thought that was pretty funny. Like, it's not found and there's an error in the game, that sort of thing. So I thought that was highly entertaining, actually, and I thought it was kind of interesting to see those little clever things like that R.L. Stine did. But that's kind of the end of what I think was clever in this book. I feel like the execution was all over the place. Now, if R.L. Stine was trying to say this is what AI is like, then I can attest to that, because I just read last month an AI-generated book, and it definitely was chaotic. There was so much going on that didn't make sense, and it was all over the place. Characters were like coming back and starting over, and the ending kind of looped like this book's ending does. So I thought, okay, if you're trying to say something about AI-generated art, that's kind of interesting, but I still don't feel like you stuck that landing to actually tell us that that's what you were talking about. So I felt like that was kind of lost in translation in trying to get this book's message across, which I will say, R.L. Stine's Goosebumps books have never actually been about a message usually. A message, if there is one in the book, is kind of secondary to what's happening in the plot. And I feel like comes out more organically through R.L. Stine's writing, a little by accident, just based on his plot and the things that he's come up with for the scares. Like, I think that The Haunted Mask is a great example of this. The Haunted Mask is a really strong story. It has a very strong message that comes through because it's tied in so tightly with that plot that is so well done. And I think that that's a great example of a Goosebumps book that does it really well. I think, though, there are also some very unintentional Goosebumps books, like Bad Hair Day, for example. I think Bad Hair Day has a really strong message, but I think it's absolutely an accident. It's not on purpose. It is just comes through organically in the writing that of the storyline that R.L. Stine put together. And unfortunately, I feel like this book did not do that. You have way too many random things that are happening, and they don't say anything about AI-generated books. It just kind of is. And this isn't even about an AI-generated book. It's about an AI-generated video game, which, as far as I know, I'm not sure that AI is being used that way, and I could be totally ignorant. I 100% acknowledge. I feel like AI is more being used within a game to be like an AI that is learning how the player plays and then kind of like amping up how the computer plays against the player as they play their game. So I feel like that this is a little bit outside the box in that sense, and almost like R.L. Stine's talking about something he doesn't really know a lot about. Now, I could be 100% wrong. I will fully admit it if I am 100% wrong. It's very possible. But I think, again, at the end of the day, the execution in this book just does not work. There's a lot of running around. There's a lot of really random stuff. Like, for instance, why is Carl and his mom even in the game? Why did Sam even upload them into the game in the first place? There's no explanation. And of course, if Sam and Cody are the avatars, they wouldn't exactly know why that was the case. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Unfortunately, I feel like that's my conclusion of this book, is it just doesn't make sense. There's too many things that are off the beaten path in a way that is so far off the path, it never is a path. We're just kind of trudging through bushes, trying to figure out like what's happening in this book. And by the time it got to the end, I thought, okay, wait, that's it? That's the end of this book? That's all there is? because I didn't even think it was a twist ending. I will tell you right now, I figured out what was going on in chapter 1 of this book. I thought, oh, they're in a video game. Oh, the AI is generating the game. They have to get out of the game somehow. That's what's happening in this book. And it's exactly what it was. So I feel like I wasn't surprised. I didn't really feel like there was a good twist. There was a couple clever things, but at the end of the day, I feel like this one really dropped the ball. I also think the cover is super misleading. This fish is not in the book. And I was wondering, did this have a previous iteration where there was this fish in the book and that's the cover art they worked off of to create? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what the original story was and if there was an original story or anything. All we know is the book that we have. And this book, unfortunately, is a real miss, in my opinion. I think that Goosebumps House of Shivers has started off strong with book number 1. It was pretty good. Goblin Monday, not so good. I did not like it as much. And then Night of the Living Mummy, great. I loved that book. I know some people don't, but I loved it. I thought that one was wonderful. It was so well done, in my opinion. And then this one is a real miss. And I'm really hoping that book 5 in the series comes around and is a really good one that just really knocks it out of the park. It looks like from the cover art, the book could be really good. And that is what I'm holding out hope for. I hope that it's a good book and has a good storyline that's much stronger than this one was. So that's my spoiler discussion of Say My Name, Say My Name. What do you think? Have you read this book? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. What do you think R.L. Stine was trying to say with this book, if anything? I don't really know. I can't tell you much, but this is the book we got. So until next time, everybody, keep reading. Bye.